evening if you're in the UK. Hi. I'll take these off for now. Welcome to this live show. My name's Audrey. I'm the Salty Psychic. For those who are here right now in the room, you know me already, you guys, like Linda and Michelle P. And Smiley Face said she had to go. She had to get back to work, but she'll be back. She'll watch the show later. So welcome everyone. If it's Friday, it is Friday. If that makes you happy, then yay. Every day's the same for me because I'm at home every day with my husband and son. So I'm very lucky in that way. So come on in, everyone. We'll get started in just a few minutes. I'm not going to wait super long. Whoever is here, whether it's 3 or 4 or 10 or 500. I'm just going to wait just a couple minutes before we get started. So while we're waiting, hi Justice, please go hit that like button right now while you're thinking about it. Hit the subscribe button, you guys. We're so close. We're so close to 1,000. I'm so excited. I think, I don't know, what am I at? 870 or so. So just over 100 more people and we'll be at 1,000 subscribers, which is exciting for a YouTuber. I remember on my old channel, I was doing it took me like 4 years to get to 500 subscribers. And I happened to be with Benjamin in London doing the 500 subscriber giveaway. But by the time we left London, that trip, I had over 3,000 subscribers. That's when my channel blew up. So when a channel blows up, it's very exciting. You never know when it's going to happen. It will happen eventually. You just don't ever know. You don't know when something's going to click and YouTube's going to go crazy for you. So it's exciting. It is exciting watching the numbers grow. And, it feels good when people subscribe. It's like, oh, somebody likes me. Or, yay, I did something right. So it is a good feeling. But anyway, no matter how many subscribers I have, I will continue to bring you the best version of myself for the day and the content and my honesty and everything that I am. And so we'll roll with that. If you do like my hidden jewelry here, these are, who are these? Christian Dior? Yeah, these are Christian Dior. These are for sale on my website. So these are $95. They're vintage Christian Dior. Go to the website, vintageenvy.org. Vintage Envy, an N and a V, vintageenvy.org. Sign up for the newsletter. I'm so excited. I love my website. Some point I do expect the jewelry website to go nuts as well. But in the meantime, I really just love being on there and researching the jewelry information and putting it up there for you guys. And for me, creatively, I have a lot of fun with it. So I just started doing newsletters. Those will start July 1st. So sign up for the free newsletter. You can always unsubscribe. It's very easy. I don't track your names or anything. I don't sell your information. But just have a look, and it's fun. You might see something that clicks, and you may have to have it. You just have to have that piece of jewelry. If that happens, I know how you feel. That's how I ended up with all this jewelry. I just see it, and I love it, and I fall in love, and I just want to share that love with you guys. But we do have some interesting things to talk about today. I have my water with just a dash of lemonade that my husband made. Well, hello, Mary Ellen. Hi, Donna. Donna's been here for a long time. Good morning. Oh, Jamie. Hi, Jamie from the UK. I love your country, your continent, your island. I love where you're at, Jamie. And hubby and I are planning our trip right now to England. We'll probably go up to Scotland again. We enjoyed that. So keep an eye out. I'll be on your island in a few months. We're trying to book the trip so that not everything in our life is disrupted. You know, I got Jonathan in school. That's the main thing. Plus my husband's job. That's kind of the main thing too. Honestly, that's probably pretty important actually. So we're trying to plan it. It's like, well, let's just go twice. Let's just go now and then we'll go again in November. Why can't we just go twice? Thank you, Donna. So I didn't get my eyelashes done. Not that anyone asked, but what I did was I just put I just attached a couple right there on the ends. If you see me far away, it looks better, but I know I sit up close. So anyway, that's what's going on with the eyelashes. So yay, I'm on in the UK and around the world, depending where you guys are at. I think the Southern Hemisphere is probably asleep. That's all right. We'll let them sleep down there in the land down under in South Africa and all those places. Denise, you're not late. Hi, Diana. Oh, gosh. I need to flip a coin to decide where do I want to start. We got aliens in Vegas. What happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas. And we got new garbage on Hamburger, on Brian Hamburger. We got some information, playing some games. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about the aliens in Las Vegas. This isn't clickbait. This is for real. Maybe you don't believe in aliens. Just hang out with me and just, I talk to dead people. So if you like me, you're probably willing to listen about aliens. It's always been a controversial subject. Even 2,000 years ago when people were carving on rocks, they were putting strange things from space and, onto the planet. So anyway, in Vegas, it was April 30th. We're just now getting this information coming out in the last couple of weeks on social media and stuff. But it was actually April 30th of the year. Hi, Robin. Hi, Robin. April 30th, Las Vegas police were out and about, just going to calls as they always do. And there was one police officer standing outside with a couple people she was talking to. And she had her body camera on, those cameras they wear often on their uniform. So she has her body camera on and she's talking to a couple people over here. And then you see this bluish green, depending on what your settings are set to, a bluish light thing falling out of the sky. Close, not like up in the way far away, but in our atmosphere. It was in our atmosphere and it falls and it hits down. Yes, Donna. Yes to your question, Donna. And we can talk about that more later, Donna. So this cop catches this blue light on her body camera, and then within just a matter of a couple of minutes, 911 is getting a bunch of phone calls about this light that they saw nearby. And apparently people down here in Southern California could see it all the way up to, was it Idaho? I don't know. I mean, Vegas isn't far from where I live. We can drive there in a day. It's a couple hours away. It's not far. And we have driven to Vegas. So I guess I could potentially see how a Southern California person could see that light, except if you're in this, city center with all the smog and the lights, probably not going to notice it. But you get a 911 call from a kid. he's a kid. He's a teenager, I guess. His name is Angel. And he lives with his mom, dad, and brother, younger brother. And I'll summarize what he said, is, hey, there was a loud bang, and we looked out the back window, the back door, and we see things. We see aliens. I mean, what do you call them? They're aliens. You don't know what it's the actual word of alien being, I can't identify what this is. I don't know what this is. He says, well, there's a couple of these things out there. They're not human, okay? They're not human, but they're staring at me. Can you imagine? Can you imagine looking out your back door and seeing these 8 to 10 foot tall beings staring at you? I'm telling you guys, truth is stranger than fiction a lot of times. It's a crazy life. It's a crazy existence, not only for us, but probably for the aliens as well. And you know, you pass by Area 51 when you're driving to Vegas. You know, oh, Area 51 doesn't exist. Really? Because there's a sign right there and it says Area 51 and you can't go past that sign or you'll get shot. I'm just saying, that's real. That's a thing. So this kid is like trying to emphasize that this is not a joke. I am not joking. You know, then you hear the dad in the background talking, and I put a link down in the description box below. After you're done here, if you haven't already watched that clip, watch the clip. Now, here's where I find myself helpful to you and to the population. That kid on the 911 call is telling the truth. I can tell you with 100% positivity, he's being honest. The dad's being honest. The mom and the little brother, honest. And I don't know, for some reason, this particular time when people are saying that they see aliens, it's just really resonating with me. I think it's time we start looking and taking this more seriously, because here's what happened after that. So, you know, this kid was on so many social media outlets telling his story and going on and on about it, and it got a lot of attention. Well, now the men in black are showing up at his house for real. You know, the men in black who also don't exist, like Area 51. And now you don't hear anything from these people at all whatsoever. So they've been told to be quiet, I'm sure. The government did install, and it's visible. You can see there's been broadcasts of this tower that the government has installed near this house to capture something, but I don't think the entities will come back to the exact spot where they had just been. Yeah, exactly, Linda. I swear, I would be more afraid of the men in black than the aliens. Seriously. Because my husband said something like, well, oh, now this family's just going to accidentally disappear, or, you know, their house just caught on fire by accident, or, you know, something bad's going to happen to these people. I hope not. I hope not. It's not their fault that this happened. There was an interview, a newscaster was interviewing a science writer. This is a guy, a white guy. I don't know if that matters or not. And this guy, this scientist said, he said, and with all seriousness, he said, you know what? People can't see that well at night. You hear a noise, you look out in your backyard, imaginations start going, and this kid saw big eyes. He's claiming he saw big eyes. Well, what else has big eyes? Oh, raccoons. Raccoons have big eyes, so it was probably an animal. Oh my God. Do you think we are that stupid? We may be ignorant in some areas because we can't know everything going on in the world, but we're not stupid. Unbelievable. This is what I'm talking about, again, where the government is trying to dumb us down. I'm not a political person. I'm not. I don't know enough about politics, but I know when I'm trying to be told to shut up. Someone's trying to brainwash me. I have my own video that I put up on Instagram months ago of raccoons in my backyard, even standing up straight right in front of my window. Yeah, it's not the same. These entities were 8 to 10 feet tall, approximately, large eyes, long, big mouths. What is it? Oh, thanks, Denise. I mean, all credit to the real raccoons. They're very smart, but this was not raccoons. So why are we being told to shut up? Why? Why? Why can't we know? Why can't we know about what's going on? So many countries outside of the United States love to kind of mock us and laugh at us about our democracy and that we vote on everything. Oh, you Americans, you vote on everything. Well, yeah, we do. Let's start taking some votes about aliens. Let's make some new laws, some new rules. We want to know when shit's happening. We want to know when something's been seen. We don't want to put our heads in the sand. We don't want to have blinders on. We want the truth. So let's start making some changes. Let's start voting for some changes to happen with the government so we know what's going on. So much of the government is so corrupt. And again, I don't know enough to really state any further than that, but it's not good. Speaking of voting, let's vote on the BRYAN hamburger situation. Let's have a vote, whether it's just the Idaho residents or if it's the United States. Let's have a vote if we want to see cameras in the courtroom. Why not? Let's start voting. Let's start demanding. Things don't have to stay the same for all eternity. Obviously, things change in society and humanity. So sometimes things need to change that have been set in place for a long time. So regarding the aliens, Linda says they had... Linda, are you saying the raccoons have sharp teeth or the aliens? Raccoons definitely have sharp teeth. So somebody said they were going to Vegas. Who was that? Back in the comments. Someone's going to Vegas. We like Vegas. We go there, at least once a year. We got married in Vegas 2 years ago. So we had a good time in Vegas. We went back in October of last year. It's just fun. It's just fun. Yes, there's naked women walking around, but it's not a place for kids, okay? Some of my students, when I worked at the elementary school, no, you're not going to Vegas. No, we are. There's daycare in Vegas. Well, you shouldn't go. I'm sorry. You just shouldn't. You have no business in Las Vegas if you're under 21 or 18 at the youngest. Okay, let's see. What are you guys talking about down here in the comments? So So just be mindful about this alien case being talked about and how quickly it's going to be shoved under the carpet. You know, if you've been to Vegas or if you're going to Vegas and you're flying in, have a look for these airplanes. They're called Janet, J-A-N-E-T, Janet flights. These are the flights that go to Area 51 out of the Las Vegas airport. They are for personnel only. They're called Janet flights. I believe the planes are pure white. And you know, it's interesting because my brother's a pilot. He used to fly out of Las Vegas, but he and I never talked about the Janet flights or Area 51. I don't know why we didn't ever talk about that, but oh well. So let's see how quick this case is removed from all social media and everything, but let's remember this in a future date when more stuff's happening and we're like, oh yeah, remember that case in Vegas? I mean, from a spiritual, psychic standpoint, what do I think? Are these spirits? Are these just people who have died? And they can come back in this new shape? My quickest thought on that is absolutely a no. I don't see these aliens with the big heads and the big eyes and all that. I don't see them as being former human beings or souls similar to us. But what I have said in the past is there's a different dimension. And I only know that because of what Spirit has shown me. And here he comes. Okay, who's coming into my presence right now? This is a guy named Eric. He was a kid when he died. He was a teenager. He died in a car crash. He's coming in. He's here. Hi, Eric. So, okay, hold on. He's talking to me. Now, I just talked to his friend, the girl I talk to once a month. I just talked to her a few days ago. Maybe it was a week ago. But anyway, I just talked to her, and he didn't come into my presence on that day, but he's come into my presence probably 5 or 6 other times. Eric shows me, again, this is just a kid from the East Coast. He showed me when he was Eric. He lived on the East Coast. He died, but now after a while, he started showing me himself over here on my left. And he's far away, but he's telling me and told me he's so far away. He's like, it's like a different dimension. And it's like, well, is it a different dimension or is it like a different dimension? Because we just don't understand everything. So possibly these aliens are from a different dimension. Like I said, truth is stranger than fiction. Look at Star Trek. You know, when Star Trek first came out, it was crazy. It was radical, right? It was like everyone was scared that this kind of thing was going to happen. And is this our future? With flying ships and disappearing and reappearing on the other side of the planet or something? Well, probably somebody somewhere already knew that these were things that were technology that was coming. Because we are so dumbed down by the government, that's nothing new. I'm sure if we knew what the government knows, we probably would panic. We probably would be very, very fearful right now of what our future may look like. And you guys are asking why are they coming? Are they potentially going to hurt us? Well, sure. I mean, a kitty cat could potentially scratch our eyes out. But does that mean we should assume that an alien being wants to kill us? No. Would it terrify us? Yes. I can't even imagine. Like, my brain doesn't calculate that. My brain's like, well, don't go there because that's not something that could happen. But that's not true. It could happen. And it does happen. It does absolutely happen. Hi, Fallon. Why are they coming here? Well, why are we in Mars? Why are we trying to get to Mars? Why are we out in space? Oh, so many questions and lack of answers. And as I'm talking to you right now, I'm asking Spirit, I'm asking the Creator, what's up? Did our Creator create these aliens? Well, if there's only one Creator, that's a humanity question that's been going on for hundreds of millions of years. Where are we from? Who made us? What else is there? We don't know. But again, have a look at that video. I think it's a short video. I think it's only like 60 seconds long, that video. I posted it down in the description box. Watch it later. I'm going to spit my gum out. Sorry. All right. So that's our alien business. Donna, I don't know who David Grosh is. Who's David Grosh? Shall I Google him? I don't know who he is. I guess I could Google him. Did the aliens survive? Well, that's the funny thing. Both of the aliens just disappeared, and no one has said that there was a spaceship anywhere, or some type of, some type of ship. All right, let me Google this guy real quick. Let me go here. David. Hopefully I'm spelling it right. Groesh. Groesh. Okay. Ooh, Donna, this looks really in-depth. It looks really interesting, though. I'll have to do some research and just read about this situation on this guy. I mean, there is something to be said about whistleblowers, right? I mean, it's a real thing. Wow. Okay. All right. I'll have to look into that. I don't think I can give you any info on that at the moment. All right. Let me put my notes back up here. Okay. Time for our favorite murderer to be spoken about. Bryan Kohberger, who I love to call Bryan Hamburger. Do you want fries or a shake with that hamburger? We talked about him last week. Was it Saturday? Because he was in court wearing his suit that he's probably going to wear to his execution, his nice suit that he was wearing in court. Bryan Hamburger. So now we have new news about Bryan Hamburger's attorney wanting to challenge the grand jury, the indictment. Are we surprised? No. And here's something I want you to remember, you guys. When we know there's a murderer, we know he did it. I don't care what you say, okay? I don't care what you say or your beliefs. This is my channel. This is my belief, what I'm going to tell you. He did it, okay? Thank you. I know the law. I know the law is innocent until proven guilty. I know that. I went to school, okay? Don't panic. When there's a murderer who you're worried he's going to be let go, the case is going to be dismissed, his lawyers must have something new, there must be new evidence. Oh no, now what? What's going to happen? These poor kids who were murdered. Okay? Don't let Bryan Hamburger and his attorney instill fear into you. This is what they're trying to do. They're playing head games with everybody. So, Ann Taylor, his blonde attorney, wants more time to, in essence, file some more evidence. So when you're going through a trial, I'm not a lawyer, but this generally speaking, you can't just start saying stuff. So last Friday when they were in court, it's not permitted for Ann Taylor to stand up and say, oh, by the way, Bryan Hamburger has an alibi and their name is this and this happened there and they can corroborate. You can't do that. It doesn't work that way. You don't get to just stand up and start saying stuff. I can see why. So there's a process. There's a process of how this works. So it is my belief from Spirit, this is intentional. This was absolutely the plan from the very beginning. They are not going to show all their cards at once. They are not going to make all their demands at once on the first day, in the first court documents, in the first interview. They are playing a game of chess. We know Bryan went to school for crime and all this other stuff, right? So he and his attorney both know and understand how this works. So don't think that the trial is going to be pushed out or extended because of their new request. And their new request is they have information here. I had to put it on the computer because I can't say this word. Exculpatory evidence. That is what Hamburger's attorney says they have. Exculpatory evidence. So I Googled, what do you mean by exculpatory evidence? What do you mean? What are you talking about? So exculpatory evidence is evidence favorable to the defendant in a criminal trial that exonerates or tends to exonerate the defendant of guilt. All right. And so what? Aren't these the same people that said, oh, by the way, one of the roommates can clear, she can totally clear Bryan Hamburger. She can get this case thrown out. That's why they're bringing her back. They're forcing her to go back to Idaho because she's gonna get this whole case dismissed. Shut up. Shut the hell up. pile of garbage. What happened with that? Oh, nothing. Nothing happened with that. So what about this new thing, this evidence that they have? It's probably nothing. It's to get everyone upset. It's to panic the prosecution. It's to throw the prosecution and the families off their game. That's all it is. And I'm calling BS, Ann Taylor. You don't play with people's lives like this. How dare you? How dare you, Ann Taylor? You're despicable. I'm ashamed that you are even an American, Ann Taylor. You disgust me. So, what is this evidence going to be? Who knows if we'll ever even hear about it? But here's the thing. Here's what's going to continue to happen. Mark my words. Actually, this is Spirit's words. Spirit's telling me these people are going to continue to use their rights to the best of their abilities. They're going to wait. They're going to be the squeaky wheels, if you will, right at the exact moments, right when you think we're progressing to the next stage in the case. They're going to say, wait a minute. He has the right to do this or say that. Well, he's always had the right to say this or do that. You're just waiting until today to say it. You could have said it from day one, lady. But you know your cutoff date, don't you, Ann? You know your cutoff date to make that request. And that's what she's doing. She's effing with our heads on purpose. Don't panic, you guys. Do not panic. It's garbage. And you know what? This is, again, I said this a while ago, but this is the Idaho, state of Idaho, are you guys okay with Ann spending your money like this? Don't you guys want him thrown in jail or executed in Idaho? You want him out? You want him out running around? Because right now, basically, the citizens of Idaho are paying Kohberger's bill. They are. They're paying for his jail services, and they are paying for the attorneys. Where do you think the money comes from? It doesn't come from just out of the ground. If this was in California, I would be so upset. Believe me, we have our own problems. Yes, and Lori and Chad. We have that circus going on. And also Arizona with Lori, right? When are people going to get tired of footing the bill for these people? I just don't get it. But, what's that old commercial? If you're my age or older, do you remember that old commercial? I think it was in the 80s. Where's the beef? Where's the beef, hamburger? What are you going to do? What are you going to do, hamburger? Where's the beef? Put up or shut up. Have you heard that one? I'm just saying. I am just saying. These people are screwing with people's lives, their minds, the process in which this is supposed to happen. And I told you this from the very beginning, they're going to play hard and they're going to play dirty. Ann Taylor and her people and Bryan Hamburger are going to play dirty. And they are. He's fighting for his life. He thinks he's not going to be put to death. Can you imagine the ego of someone who killed 4 people, thinks he's going to get away with it because he's special? I know, Denise, right? How does she frickin' sleep at night? She probably has nightmares. She probably doesn't sleep at night because you know what? The human brain and the human body can only take so much. Oops, I don't want to press that. Hold on. Hold on. She's going to get sick over this whole thing, Ann Taylor and her other people. You know, unless Ann Taylor herself is as mentally ill or sociopathic as Bryan Hamburger, it's going to affect her. And I think a lot of bad things about Ann Taylor, but I don't think she's a sociopath. Oh, yeah, she's in it for the money, of course. You know, she saw, like we all did, what happened to Johnny Depp and his attorneys and all that. Yeah, she wants her 15 minutes. Girl, get your 15 minutes of fame some other way. Some other way. You want this 15 minutes? She probably drank. I'm just saying, this is just me. I don't have any information from Spirit on if Ann Taylor drinks or not. But I'm just saying she might be drinking. I don't know. How do you cope with this? How do you handle, process, accept all the emotions in life? How do you deal with that, Ann Taylor? And again, if she has children, she should be ashamed. She should be ashamed of herself. She's effing with people's lives. And you may say, well, Audrey, that's what their job is. Every prosecuting attorney is supposed... No. I'm sorry, no. There's a line. There's a line that she's crossed, okay? She's crossed a line that she can never walk backwards and go back. She's basically ruined her entire life forward by being this type of attorney. Yeah, there might be some other prosecuting attorneys or other like-minded people who will disagree with me. That's fine. You guys can disagree all you want. Go back and check on Ann in 10 years, 20 years. See what she's looking like. See what her life was like from this court case and after. All right, we're going to move on in just a moment. Just waiting to see if there's any more questions or comments on Hamburger before we move on to Stephen Smith. I want to talk about Stephen Smith. And I'm not perfect. You guys know that. And I've never claimed to be perfect. I don't try to be perfect. I try to be the best version of myself. That's it. It's not easy because I'm a human. There's a lot of things I do wrong or, whatever. There's stuff I need to learn. There's, it's life. That's how we all are. But none of us are perfect. Yes, Miriam, most of the O.J. Simpson lawyers are dead. Pourquoi? Why? It reminds me, and here comes Spirit. I'm not sure who this is. Do you remember back in the 1920s? No, I was not alive then, but in the 1920s, in England, there was, let me back up. Do you remember Downton Abbey, that castle, Downton Abbey? Well, that castle's actually called Highclere Castle. Highclere Castle, I think? Yeah, Highclere Castle. Is it Carnarvon? Lord Carnarvon used to be in that castle. He had downstairs in his basement, he had millions and millions of dollars in antiquities and Egyptian artifacts that he stole. And everyone knew he stole it. he would go to Egypt, he'd steal the stuff and bring it back. It's no secret whatsoever that this has happened. If you go between Paris and London and talk to both sides, it is very clear that London has taken most of the Egyptian artifacts. Well, Lord Carnarvon, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, he suddenly died on a night. It was a very strange death he had, but many people back then, and even now, still believe because he was cursed for what he did. Yeah, he got away with it. Was it against the law? Not really, because he did it and he didn't go to jail or anything. He didn't get arrested for doing it. But does that mean it's fair? Does that mean it was right what he did? No, so anyway. So like the O.J. Simpson attorneys, most of them are gone. They've passed. And I won't say I think, but I can see and understand the amount of guilt on your soul for helping a known murderer get the case dismissed. Can you imagine what that feels like? All right. Hi, Nosy Nana. All right, let's move on and talk about Stephen Smith. Remove this. I had to put this backing up. This is just plastic. It's just a plastic thing. My husband's painting. I'm like, I have a live show in the morning. Did you know that? He's like, yeah, but no, it's not. It's not okay. I don't want them looking at all this mess behind here. So, but I just put this thing up behind me. So anyway. All right, let's go back a little ways. Let's go back to the Alec Murdaugh murders of his wife and his son. He was convicted of murdering, hi Marcia, murdering his wife and son. If you've been a part of my channel, then you know I say otherwise. I've had his wife and son come into my presence, and it's been confirmed to me many ways by many people who've passed. He didn't do it. He didn't pull the triggers. And Spirit's talking to me right now. Spirit is saying, yeah, he's a mastermind of getting people knocked off, if you will, of getting people killed. He's a mastermind, and he can really convince people to do it, to do his dirty work for him. It's kind of like those reality shows like Survivor or Big Brother, where, the top person in the group, they don't get their hands dirty at all. They have their little slaves over here doing all the dirty work for them, and then the slaves, hi Benny, and then all the slaves get voted off because they're the ones that coordinated the voting out of the people. Well, that's what Alec Murdaugh does, apparently, or did do. So, we know, okay, this needs to stop. People, okay, sorry. Anyway, okay. Alec Murdaugh has had two sons. He had Paul, who's murdered, and then he has Buster, who was at the trial. You might have seen him on the stand. One of Buster's friends, Stephen Smith, was apparently hit by a car and killed during the middle of the night. And at the accident scene, at the death scene, the crime scene, here comes Alec Murdaugh. Hey, don't worry, I'll help you. I'll be your attorney. We got this. You don't worry about anything. I'm so sorry for your loss. We're gonna handle everything. My team, the office. Well, come to find out, and I knew this right away. I knew this before it even came out, and I think it's on video somewhere on my channel. He wasn't hit by a car. Stephen Smith was not hit by a car, okay? He was not. And it's been so clear to me from the very beginning that Stephen Smith was murdered. Well, who murdered him? Don't you think it's a coincidence? Just because Alec Murdaugh had other people killed, you think he had Stephen Smith killed? Well, not because of, but yes, he did have Stephen Smith killed. Alec Murdaugh convinced some young men to kill Stephen Smith. Now, I wrote it down somewhere. The video number, where did I put that note? In my video, I said, I see Buster Murdaugh, and then I see some other boys. I said, hold on a second, let me count them. And I had my pen, and I said, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I see 4 boys, including Buster, at the crime scene where Stephen Smith was. But I also said, Alec Murdaugh is the one that put the hit out, basically. So that's 5. That's 5 people. Well, last week or a few days ago, it's been announced that there's 5 people they're looking at to indict. Is that the right word? That they're gathering evidence on 5 people who are responsible for killing Stephen Smith. I know you guys listen to me, but why doesn't everyone listen to me? I'm telling you, I don't say this stuff for my health. I say it for the good of the country, of the world, for safety reasons, to get these criminals off the streets. So let me take you back to the crime scene for Stephen Smith. Just as a warning, there's some things you may not want to hear, okay? Upsetting things that I'm going to say. Allegedly, and Stephen's come into my presence. Maybe he'll come in right now, I'm not sure. He has come into my presence. He hasn't confirmed with me, and I'm asking him right now if he can confirm if he was on his way to or on his way home from meeting up with an older lover, a man, an older gentleman lover. Now, keep in mind, Stephen was just a teenager. There was a man who was on this rural road. A man, was he on his bike? Was this guy on a bike or in a car? I don't remember. But this guy calls 911 and says, hey, I see someone out here. I think he's dead on the street out in the middle of nowhere. You know, must have been a hit and run and, you know, kind of thing. Even though none of it was clearly not a hit and run. The car was here. Stephen was here. It just doesn't work out logistically. It just doesn't, you know. It just does. It didn't make sense from the very beginning. But because the Murdaughs were involved, it was brushed under the rug and everything just went on and forgot about Stephen. Okay, so now I got at the murder scene before this boy was discovered. We got, okay, let me draw this out. Okay, well, this may come in handy later because I'm going to tell you how it is, and let's see what comes out in this trial, because I think there's going to be another trial for Stephen Smith's murder. I got Stephen's head, for example, here. His body is this way. He's face down right here. I'm getting the chills. I got Stephen right here. on his stomach. His body's back that way. His bottoms are off pretty much around his shin areas, it looks like, his pants. He was violated sexually at the murder scene by the boy who's standing near his feet, near Stephen's feet. Whoever this kid is by Stephen's feet is the one who did the sexual act. Then you have a boy here standing near his head on this side, and you have another boy here standing on this side. And then you have Buster Murdaugh on towards the end of Stephen's feet, but opposite of the other boy. So 4 boys, basically 2 up front, 2 in the back. Buster's in the back. But it's very clear to me, Stephen says, Buster, he didn't call him names. Buster didn't say anything to Stephen, like, derogatory names for being gay. Stephen was gay. And nor did Buster beat up or hurt or anything on Stephen. But he was there. Buster was there. He did not try and stop anything from happening. The main kid who did most of the violence is this kid standing by Stephen's feet. Now these 2 other boys towards Stephen's head, definitely I see some kicking. It's horrible, you guys. It's horrible. I hate that I see this. I hate looking at this. As a mother, even if you're not a mother and you're a human being, this would bother you. It should bother you. But it's this other kid by the feet who's the main guy. And it's this other kid who's at the feet. This is the one who Alec Murdaugh really was convincing him to do the murder. These other 2 boys at the head of Stephen's head were like the muscle, if you will, the muscle to hold him down, and you know what I'm saying. I don't want to say it. And this is all from Spirit. I see it clear as freaking day. And I'm at the murder scene right now. Spirit's taking me to the murder scene. I have the chills. I think this is Stephen. Do I think Stephen and Buster had relations? It's been shown to me that by Stephen, they did not have any physical relations. There was no talk of any desire to have any physical relations, but it was noticed, it's noticeable that Buster enjoyed Stephen. Well, what do you mean? Are you saying he's gay? Are you saying Buster's gay or bisexual or something? No, not at all. But isn't it okay to have a gay friend? Isn't it okay to be interested in like, hey, I like you. We really click. It doesn't mean he's gay. But that's not how Mr. Murdaugh and Grandpa Murdaugh thought about the situation. Alec and his father saw this as inappropriate, homosexual, and they can't have it. That can't be a part of their family. So we're going to have to kill your friend to keep the 2 of you from chit-chatting. So, and Stephen told me before. Stephen said it didn't need to happen. There was nothing. There was nothing. We were just friends. Yes, you know, Buster was kind of questioning, do I like this kid in a sexual way? I don't know. But can't I just be friends with him and, you know, not be gay with him? It was just interest. And it's so awful. And we know, well, I know, I don't know if you know, I've said it before, but there was a sexual test performed on Stephen after his body was recovered. You know, one of those kits that they have, mostly for women after they've been attacked by somebody. You know what I'm saying, right? I don't think I can say that word on YouTube. Hi, Louisa. Hi, Crystal. You know, but Alec Murdaugh, him and his family just had, they instilled this fake reassurance and support from people. In actuality, he was violating people, Alec Murdaugh. I think they exhumed his nanny's body too. So I'm very, very happy that some of these older murders are being literally dug up and checked on as new information has been made available and brought to the government's attention. That's how it should be. If you know something's wrong, if you have facts on a case as an agency, you have to pursue it. I don't care if you don't want to do paperwork. You know, police, they don't ever want to do the paperwork, right? Do the paperwork. Just assume when you're going through the police academy or FBI academy, whatever, you're going to do paperwork, okay? That's part of your job, is to do paperwork. Know that up front. Because as a citizen of this country, I don't ever want to hear the job wasn't done right because so-and-so who has a badge didn't want to do paperwork. That is not acceptable. And real quick, back on the Bryan Kohberger situation. You know what? For Bryan Kohberger, let him remind us of his rights. You go ahead, Bryan Kohberger. Sure, you have these rights. That's right. You bring them to attention now. Because when you're convicted and sitting on death row, I don't want to hear your gripes that your rights were violated in court. So you will go ahead and you exercise all of your freaking rights right now. And don't come crying later when you're being executed. So you get it out of your system right now, Aunt Taylor. You get it out. You do everything to the best of your ability that might save your client from the shooting range. Disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself, Aunt Taylor. I'm just saying. I'm saying it. I'm ashamed as a woman of Aunt Taylor, as an American. I mean, she's the epitome of a dirty lawyer, Aunt Taylor. Yep, Denise, me too. Me too. Thanks, Linda. I mean, we have to, I'm not trying to start a riot. I'm not trying to, I just want people to behave. I want you to behave, you murderers and you violators. It's awful. No, I haven't had, okay, here's some information, Robin. Here's some information on the Idaho 4, okay? On the kids, on the students, the victims. I think about them all the time. I do have a spirit coming in right now. I do think about the kids all the time. It's just on my mind. It's on my mind all the time, along with everything else going on in my life, whatever. And I've kind of just asked, hey, where are you guys? Kaylee mostly. What happened, Kaylee? I saw your dad, do these interviews and stuff. Excuse me. And when I get back from spirit, it's I wouldn't say it's Kaylee talking to me. It's more of just a reflection of my abilities to communicate with her. It's hard to explain. But basically what Spirit's telling me is we had to move on right now. We're busy. We're doing something. The 4 of them are together right now is what I'm seeing. And I feel like the 4 of them, of the students, are together and they are experiencing the emotions of being murdered together. It's something. Okay, hold on. Someone's talking. We died together. We're sticking together is what I literally am hearing right now. I am getting full-bodied chills from head to toe. That means Spirit is telling me, yes, that's correct, Audrey. Yes, you represented our information correctly. And it's making me emotional. When I channel somebody, I know them the same way I know my own children. It's like Benjamin. You guys know my son is in the chat room right now. He's watching the video. When I talk to Kaylee and Maddie, it's like I'm talking to Benjamin. It hurts. It hurts that much. It upsets me that much, as if it was my own child. We can't forget about them. For most of the world, these are just names of people who were murdered. For most of the world didn't know these murder victims. Any of them, anywhere. Stephen Smith, any of them. But I feel like I have to protect them. Even now that they're gone, I'm still Mother Bear. I still want to protect these kids. There's not much I can do except represent them to you to the best of my abilities. But I do feel a shift. I do feel an emotional shift from the 4 today. It's quiet. And I feel like, hold on, I'm with them. I'm with them on the other side. I'm with them in this other dimension. They're quiet together. They're mourning their deaths together. And typically when I see that happen with spirits, it's not a permanent situation. It might be 1 week in our human time. It might be 100 years in human time that these four are together and not really coming forth into my presence and talking to me again. There's no set time. It's whatever they want, whatever they need. And although they are at peace, they have remained not in limbo, not in purgatory, nothing like that whatsoever. But they are showing me they are going to stay together as a foursome until they're ready to leave each other and go off and be reincarnated or do other works for the divine on the other side, whatever that means. So I'm happy for them, but I'm also very sad for them. All right. I think that's it for today. It's Friday, right? Yes. You guys have a great weekend. I might do a jewelry show. Again, these are Christian Dior vintage earrings, $95 on the website, vintagenv.org. Sign up for the newsletter on my jewelry website. Okay, just join the fun. It's like having coffee with me on the website. I just want to have the jewelry website as part of the channel. It's just an extension of me. So thank you for that. Thank you for subscribing. We're almost to 1,000. I know. I'm so excited. You're welcome. You're welcome, Robin. Donna, let's talk about your question. Another time I will talk about that. Donna's asking if we have a choice to reincarnate. I do know the answer. I will share that with you guys at a later date, okay? Thank you so much. Every single one of you means so much to me. Thanks to Benjamin, my son. Love you so much, Benny. And I'll see you guys super soon. All right, take care. Have a great day. Bye.